Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Right now I'm actually in my work parking lot. It's been a while since I've recorded a video, and the reason for that, really my only excuse is going to be the cold weather. I just haven't been in the mood to record and drive in the cold. But I'm going to start trying to get back into it. It's starting to warm up a little bit. It's starting to feel a little nicer outside. But in today's video, I really want to talk to you guys, in my opinion, about the car community. And I'm going to pull out in a second and drive and try to talk to you guys while I'm driving. But I really don't like, and so some of the previous comments on some of my videos gave me insight of this. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, and we're out of work, we're good to go. The car community and the subject I'm gonna try and lean into is actually a couple comments I received on one of the previous videos, and it's just there's a big negativity with a lot of cars, a lot of types of car enthusiasts. The type of car that you, not even like the type of car, but even like the trim. I don't get a lot of the hate that people are throwing around at each other. And what happened on that video that I'd like to talk about is, obviously, if you go back and look, I don't have a lot of comments. It's about this automatic transmission. And I know that a lot of people in the comments of this video might even say, well, obviously you had it coming, you drive an automatic car. And that's where I really get confused with what people deem an enthusiast car. People are crazy. For example, I was hoping this Mustang would go down my road. That's alright. But specifically, what I would like to really bring up is the negative comments towards my automatic transmission that I received. And the only reason that I want to talk about it is because I still don't understand the negativity about, you know, you have an enthusiast car. Like, I drive a Mazda Miata. A lot of people obviously are going to say that the Mazda Miata is better enjoyed in a manual transmission. You're entitled to your opinion, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't understand why people always bash you for driving an enthusiast car with an automatic. And my example that I'd like to bring up is there's a local, that was a nice car. There's a local car show up kind of where I live in Northwest Georgia at a museum called Savoy Automobile Museum. The car show is called The Connection. It's lovely. I go to it every year. This year I'm going to try and put my car in the show if I can get to the registration on time. And when I was there was two people that had an MG midget. There was a guy with like the British Racing Green MG midget with an automatic transmission, and there was a guy parked directly next to him with a maroon red MG midget, and it was a manual. Now, from the outside looking in, when I'm viewing these two cars, I am seeing two MG midgets that I enjoy. I think one's like a 76 and one's like a 74. Lovely cars. I love the way they look. They were both convertible. And one of the last things that went across my mind was, oh, I need to go check the transmission type, because that'll really decide if I actually like the car I'm looking at. Or that's going to help me decide how I'm going to judge the person driving it. And I don't know why people automatically jump to that conclusion. Like, if let's say you're at a car show and you walk past a 5.0 Mustang. It's just a 5.0 Mustang. You should judge it really for what it is. It's a rear-wheel drive, V8 powered, American muscle car, and the owner probably loves his car. So when I'm going by and I'm looking in the window and I see that he has an automatic, or I see that he has, I don't know what the 5.0 comes in, a 6-speed? I think it's a 6-speed manual. That should not decide whether I like the guy any more or less. if that makes any sense. It's really just one of those things that is very frowned upon in the car community, and a lot of people have, very, very negative thoughts towards automatic transmissions. And I think when you step back and you just take a car in for really what it is, regardless of the transmission and really regardless of the trim. Like when I see somebody with a V6 Mustang or a V6 Camaro, I don't think that they're not a car enthusiast. I don't think that their car is bad. They either just, you either didn't want a V8 because it's too much power for you, but you still love the body style and the history of the car, which I think is perfectly acceptable. Or you just didn't want to pay for the gas and insurance that comes with owning a V8, usually at a younger age. You just like the car for what it is. No blinker is a little questionable. But and that was one of the main subjects that I really wanted to touch on and just have a brief discussion about, because I do think that it creates a very toxic community, even in like subcategories of car fans. Like, I drive an MX-5 Mazda Miata, a 2017 convertible with an automatic transmission, and I love my car, and other people love my car. I've gotten lots of compliments on this car. No one cares outside of other car enthusiasts that this car is an automatic, because they take it in really for what it is. It's a red convertible rear-wheel drive sports car. But when I bring this into Miata forums, or if I'm going to go to a show, like I went to Caffeine and Octane, which is a show closer to Atlanta in Georgia. Wonderful show. But people get bashed on for having the automatic variant of their enthusiast car. And I imagine there would be a lot of people that are very quick to go to the comments and say, well, obviously, if you're a real enthusiast, you'd want a manual transmission. That's just how it is. You control your car. You feel like you're one with your car. And that's perfectly fine. But it's not really like this is much different. The only thing I don't have is a clutch. I don't have a clutch. I can still manually shift if I really want to. My car will still go to red line. It'll still bang at red line. And I have paddle shifters, which I think are more fun on mountain roads. Like, this car has been through mountains. This car has been on back roads. This is a back road. At night, this is a very nice, spirited road to drive on. You can have very good spirited drives on this road. And this car being an automatic does not take away from that experience in the slightest. It's still fun to drive. It's rear-wheel drive. It puts the same exact power down that the manual does. And I can still shift my own gears up to a point, if you know what I mean. So I don't understand the negativity when it comes to automatic transmissions. And I just think that if the car community was more accepting of certain things like that, it'd be a nicer community to be in for certain makes and models, especially the people who, you just turned 16 or 17, it's time to get your first car, and you're a real car enthusiast. But obviously you might not come from money, you might not have a lot of money. You want a 6-cylinder sports car to start out with. But obviously, because you have a 6-cylinder sports car, the only thing missing from your car really is the engine and higher power. If you, like, let's say you get an American V8, but you get the 6-cylinder version of your American V8. You get a base model 6-cylinder Mustang. You should still be able to take your car to car shows, and people should still appreciate it because of what it is, not because, oh, this kid got a 6-cylinder, he couldn't afford anything better than that. This is just a piece of crap Mustang. Why would I appreciate this? There's a 5.0 right next to it. There's a GT right next to it. And I don't understand why we have that negativity in the car community. Like, that's a kid that's taking his beginner level sports car to get him introduced into the car community, to eventually level up to something, maybe, something bigger in engine, something more sporty, whatever the kid wants. But when he takes it to a show or something, it kind of just gets clowned on, and he's not like appreciated, or he or she, whatever. The individual that owns the car is not accepted into the community the way they expected to be accepted into the community. And it puts a negative atmosphere around the car community, and I feel like it keeps a lot of people out. Like, you can be an isolated car enthusiast. You might own a really nice car, anything, but you don't show it off or take it anywhere because you know people aren't going to appreciate it the way you appreciate it, because it's your car. You're obviously going to like your car. Everyone's entitled to that. I just wish people were more accepting. And I think that kind of segues into the second part of this that I was wanting to talk about. And that's really just... Hold on. I actually had a mild incident on this road, not too much further back, so I'd like to take my time. Because of people like that, they like to come across the yellow line. I don't quite understand why people do that. You gotta be careful. Some people like to come straight across, and they don't slow down. See, like, I love this little thing, and I can still, quote-unquote, shift gears. I can control when I go into the next gear from what RPM. Downshift. It's just a fun experience, and I don't have to worry. Honestly, you know, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna make me sound insane. Love it or hate it, my engine cannot stall, and I don't have to worry about. There's no heel toe in this car. Some people like that, but there's certain cars. I was gonna change subject, but actually back to the transmission thing. There's certain cars that actually, when you buy them in an automatic, some people don't bash you for it, and it's confusing because they're usually more in that nicer, luxury, high-end, exotic, almost hypercar area, where you have an automatic transmission. If you get a 911 or a 718, you get it in an automatic. You get any sort of Ferrari, you get a Huracan, any Lamborghini, you get an automatic with the paddle shifters. You're using your paddle shifters. No one bashes on those cars for using their paddle shifters, but I want to get my cheap little under $20,000 Mazda Miata and just have fun with my paddles and my, you know, little automatic transmission. I get all the hate for it, and it's just really confusing. And a lot of the times, not all the time, but a lot of the times that people bash on you for having an automatic transmission, and they're like, dang, if I bought your car, I would have bought it in a manual. They don't have a manual transmission themselves. They usually just have a daily driver, and it's always something crummy, if that makes sense, low end. They usually don't even have a sports car. They don't even have a luxury vehicle. Nothing like that. They just consider themselves car enthusiasts. They might genuinely like cars, but they don't own a nice one. And quite frankly, I'm gonna say this with my whole heart, they usually never end up owning a nice one. And negativity can only take you so far, and I think that's the truth. Another small subject that I'd like to touch on, just briefly, is the whole respect all builds thing. You know, like, if I want to build my car one way and you want to build your car another way, we don't agree on the way we would build our own car, but there's no reason that should make me disrespect your car, your build, or disrespect you as a person, because we wouldn't build our cars the same. unless it's one of those builds where it genuinely is just almost unacceptable. Like, I don't understand some of the cars, base model cars, that have like fake hood vents. I understand that you really enjoy the style maybe of like the way the hood vent looks or the way the side vent looks, but if you can afford a fake hood vent and putting it on and painting it and making it look nice, you can probably just afford a real panel that has a real vent. You can afford a real vented hood. You could probably afford a real vented side fender, or maybe afford to make one. It's probably cheaper to make one if you wanted to go that route. See, like this Mercedes for sale right here. I think that's a lovely looking car. But obviously, the wheels, there's an aftermarket body kit on that car. It's not my style of car. But just because it's not my style of car doesn't mean that if I was at a car show or a car meet, I wouldn't appreciate that person's build. I'm not going to openly disrespect that person's build just because it's not what I would have done. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to build your car the way you want to build your car. You're entitled to just have that right. You know what I mean? I guess I don't know why I downshifted into first there. That I really shouldn't have done that. That was just obnoxious for the people around me. But the reason I'm coming here is because I kind of want to really, I don't have a lot of other subjects to talk about. I just wish the car community was less toxic, less negative, more accepting of more accepting of everybody. It'd be nice. It'd be a lot nicer on everybody. And obviously that's never gonna happen. I didn't know it was busy up here today. I was gonna come up here to close out my video, but might not even be able to. I didn't know it was packed up here. What is all this? See, like, I don't even know what... Okay, well, I guess this ain't the location then. I don't really have much other subject material that I'd like to cover. Other than that, I just wish people were nicer to each other, man. You know what I mean? It's... The way I look at it, and I think the way more people should probably look at it, is it costs you $0, right? To just be nice and respectful. Oh, goodness gracious. That's a big bump. Me negatively talking about you or your vehicle or anything is just unnecessary unless you genuinely have a problem with your build that, like, you may have done a modification, and I'm not saying your modification is wrong, but it might negatively affect your performance or the reliability of your car over time. And they might not even know that. Like, genuinely, people might not know, they might not be aware. And that's not me bashing your build, that's just me trying to give you good, insightful information that you otherwise might not have even known. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You go ahead and rotate the wheels, see what that looks like. We're gonna throw our car in park here and step out. Ooh, that actually reminds me, I got off work and I didn't switch out my glasses. I got a pair of glasses that I wear for work, and then a pair I wear for outside of work, so that they don't get ruined. The pleasures of working in a warehouse, you know what I mean? See, just look at that. I love my car, right? And not everyone likes my car, obviously. It's a Miata. Everyone needs their own car that's subject to their own opinions. Whatever they may like is not what someone else may like. There's nothing wrong with that. I just wish everyone was a little more positive. Nobody was as negative. There's just a big stigma, you know, in the car community that's extremely negative, and I just wish everyone was less negative, nicer to each other, more accepting of builds. I had someone the other day ask me when I was going to lower my car at work because it's really high off the ground. My suspension, I have the stock suspension, so as you can see, I have a lot of unnecessary space here, and I could really make my tires wider, which I'd love to do, but they didn't ask it in a negative way. It wasn't like, dang man, you're driving a monster truck, when are you gonna lower that thing, it's ugly. It was like, hey, do you plan on lowering your car? I think it would look really nice if it was lower. It's just the way you word things, the way you present yourself, the way you ask it, is you can do it in a nice way, even if what you're gonna say could be manipulated as a negative thing, if that makes any sense. But with all that said, I think we're gonna wrap up here. This is more how I wanted the video format to be. Come to a random location like this, just stop, look at the car, talk to you guys for a minute, close out the video. I don't gotta worry about closing it while we're in the car. It's inconvenient for me, it's inconvenient for you guys. It's not a good viewing experience, I don't think. I'm gonna close out this video here. I want you guys to comment what you think. Comment your opinions, whatever it may be. Might be opinions about my car, negative, positive, it's okay with me. I'm gonna take everything in. I'm gonna read all the comments. I always try to respond to everybody when I can. I think it's good engagement. Subscribe if you want. If you like the content, it's free. No one's gonna pay you to do it. No one's gonna charge you to do it. It's just if you want to. You can turn notifications on. Every time I upload a video, you'll get notified. You can drop in. You don't even have to watch my video. It just subscribing to the channel and liking a video, it helps me tremendously. It helps more than you guys could ever understand. But with that, I'll just close out the video. It was nice talking to you guys. I wanted to get that off my chest for a while. Try to inspire someone else in the car community to do better by themselves if they weren't already. You could even inspire others. Tell other people, like, hey, like if you're with your friends at a car meet and someone has something really negative to say about a car that you think is clean, you could let them know, like, hey, that's what he likes. He's trying to build his car. He might be doing a budget build, you know. Not everyone's made of money. Not everyone can throw 40 grand, 20 grand at a car and have what they want when they want. It's a good practice to be nicer to people. I think a lot of people can learn from that. But I'll close this out. I'll see you guys in the next video.